Hello, today we're looking at the first tropical update of the year on our channel. So first we're going to be looking at Hurricane Agatha, which has rapidly intensified from a tropical storm to Category 2 today, and is expected to become a major hurricane before landfall. So taking a look, first we see no systems active for the Central Pacific. We do see for the Eastern Pacific we've had 91E, I think it was the invest, has formed into Hurricane Agatha, the first of the Eastern Pacific season, and that is going to be crossing over into the Atlantic. If it keeps its low pressure system and doesn't reform it, it will keep the name Agatha, unless if it doesn't, then it might become Alex for the Atlantic, and we can see this reformation 30%. For the only disturbance for the Atlantic for the next 5 days. Next 2 days not expected, but 30% through the next 5 days. Yeah, so the mountains of Mexico might be ripping this storm apart as it makes landfall. Let me just see. So as we see, there are some warnings out for Mexico. We see tropical storm force probabilities, and then this is the NHC cone. We see it's expected to become a major hurricane very soon, and we have hurricane warnings and tropical storm warnings, and we also see that pink hurricane watch here, which means it's expected to be even larger, and the warning area is going to be extended soon. Alright, and then 3 days. Okay. Yeah, so currently hurricane force speeds are in the brown area, and the yellow area is getting quite large, so we should see those winds coming in soon, and some tropical storm and hurricane force conditions and winds coming into the next few days. Alright, now looking at tropical tidbits. So we see I'm going to go to North America. So we see a lot of this activity, and we see Agatha down here. We see its strength, and then it completely loses its power, and it's probably going to reform its low pressure system. So this might be Alex over here. We see it stalls here because we could have some blocking high pressure, and it wouldn't exactly go west, directly east in this situation. It might just turn east, or it might stall and then eventually move out east. But we'll have to see with that. But we see some tropical activity popping up. From here, this will definitely change over time, but we see it going through Canada and even some more tropical activity in the Gulf. As we can see some snow for higher elevations of the west and some severe weather, and tropical activity for the Gulf of Mexico and the East Coast coming up. For Canada and the United States, we see that is definitely going to be picking up, and we are getting to that season, and we could be seeing Alex very soon. We may not be getting it before the start of hurricane season, which is on June 1st, pretty sure, but yeah, and we will definitely be getting some continued severe weather instead, neither of which is well wanted. But anyway, so for the upper dynamics, we see the pressure. So we see around where this system is coming in, we see it tracking in over Mexico, and we see it really start to develop near Bermuda. But we see this high pressure starting to build in to its northeast, and that will make it curve in potentially, and before it gets absorbed by a front and it gets pushed out. Alright, but going on to other things, we go back to the GFS, and we see the rounds of storms. We see the severe weather, which has really been built up for a while. It's we have a moderate risk for today. No, not today. We have a moderate risk for tomorrow. And we've been seeing this for a while now. We've seen this risk for severe weather building. We see Agatha in the bottom right. And yeah, we see for our region we could get some, well, first of all, it's going to be hot for a little while, especially on Tuesday. And it's going to be warm on Monday and Wednesday for Memorial Day. Most of the country it's going to be quite pleasant on Memorial Day, but it will definitely be stormy for the upper plains and west, as we can see some higher elevation snowfall and severe weather for the upper plains and Midwest. Yeah. Alright, looking at the European, we'll see quite similar things. We see the severe weather. And then we see Agatha really coming in on the east coast. So we see the threat for tropical activity along the east coast for the next little while. Alright. Wait, let's look at total snowfall. Total snowfall, we see a lot of that for the higher elevations, and this is going to be a very snowy June. This should be dying off by mid-June. And looking at total precipitation, we see a lot, especially for the tropics. And as we see these tropical thunderstorms popping up and the tropical systems moving in through the next few weeks. Alright, so looking at the storm reports, we've had some wind and hail today with our enhanced risk. We've had a report in New Mexico, which is, I mean, at least it's we're getting some rain there. It's been very dry, and we have some fire risk. But anyway, overview today, we have a few thunderstorm watches, severe thunderstorm watches, and some thunderstorm and severe weather risks. Looking at the mesoscale discussions. Alright, well, here's the Weather Service page. Go to svc.noaa.gov to see what watches you have or advisories you have currently. Anyway, mesoscale discussions, we have 3. Severe potential here. And then we also have supercells capable of producing tornadoes here, and other severe potentials. And we also see wind and hail possible in South Dakota and Nebraska today. So then taking a look at the thunderstorm outlooks, we have a very high chance of thunderstorms today. And tonight, with the 70%, and the tropical moisture coming up in Florida into Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama coast. Now looking at the convective outlook for today, we have a marginal enhanced risk, and then we have quite a high chance for tornadoes, and then we have a very damaging wind threat and hail threat today. Looking into tomorrow, we see the moderate risk. We really need to be looking in on this. Stay tuned to any place where you could get watches or warnings just in case something happens. If those storms start to pop up in your area. And then we have an enhanced risk, and we should be seeing this come in on our area by day 4 with the slight risk for New York, and 1 for down here with the stationary front. It's getting to that time of year where it can't make it through the entire country. And then looking in on the fire risk, we see critical for New Mexico and Texas. Stay aware of that, and even tomorrow we see that too, and I'm sure this will be extended. Alright, we see, going back to Agatha, currently it is a Cat 2, and it could become as strong as a Cat 4 before making landfall. Most likely a Cat 3 though. We see this storm will definitely make landfall, and then from there it's unknown, but it will likely travel through the open Atlantic very soon, passing near Cuba and Florida. We can definitely not make an actual forecast now, but we know the general location of general area where we should keep our eyes on, just in case something tropical activity occurs. Just for the live severe weather radar, we have thunderstorm activity for Florida and for the Great Plains. Finally, for the 7-day forecast, we have thunderstorms possible on Tuesday night with it's going to be in the low 90s to mid 90s, and then the isolated thunderstorm chance possible, and then Wednesday we could be seeing some thunderstorms, particularly in the afternoon with the front moving through. But yeah. Alright, well, watch out for Tuesday with a high of 93, and definitely be careful at the beaches with air temperatures rising very high in the area, but still the temperatures in the region for the water, sea surface temperatures, are still cold with the mid 50s to lower 60s. So please be careful if you are going to the beach. Looking at sea surface temperatures, we see they're conducive for development here in the tropical Atlantic and Eastern Pacific, and but it's still quite cool from the winter in our region, but it's warm in the tropics pretty much over the entire world. Alright, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys soon. See you later for updates.